Welcome to ED 602 Online, Psychological and Sociological Aspects of Youth for the Summer of 2020. I'm your narrator. I'm Patricia Abrams, otherwise known as Pat, and my co-instructor is Tammy Coit. The two of us have worked together for many years presenting this course, and you'll find that I will be presenting 3 of the modules and Tammy will be presenting 3 of the modules as we move along. Let's go over the basics. I've introduced myself and told you about Tammy. You can always contact us through Canvas email. My text or phone number is there. Tammy's you can find online. And what I want to make clear is don't hesitate to email or text us with any concerns that you may have asking for clarification. Sometimes, particularly in a quick course, it's difficult to stay in touch. And so texting or emailing, and perhaps sometimes you may need a phone call to clarify a little bit further. We can set that up via text message or emails at a mutually convenient time. This is the way our course lays out. We do start June 1st, and that's an introductory module where we'll be going over just an overview of the course and taking a look at some basic definitions, particularly those definitions that are used in sociology. Most of us are educators, and as educators, a lot of us don't have backgrounds in sociology. The psychology obviously is there, and that's a little bit easier to understand. But understanding sociology and the cultural piece involved with sociology requires a little bit of instruction. Our second and third units actually are the sociology and psychology, and differentiating between the two of those, as well as understanding the 3 sociological theories that we're going to be working with. And notice you'll have assignments due and forums due during those time periods, but the sociology and psychology modules will mark the end of that first big area that we cover, and you will have your first follow-up due on June the 22nd. Poverty, the next module, begins on June 22nd, the day that the first follow-up is due, and Tammy will be teaching that unit on poverty. She does a super job with it and will be presenting some very interesting impact on our students, and I'm sure many of you are aware of those impacts, as many parents have been unemployed and had a really profound effect on students in the online learning that we've all been going through over the past several months. The follow-up in this very short 1-week unit is due June 29th. Cultural design, the next module, I will be teaching again, and essentially it's behavioral analysis and behavioral psychology, and taking a look at how we can change unwanted behaviors, maintain wanted behaviors, and looking at behaviors outside of a vacuum, that it doesn't just involve the student, that usually there are many stakeholders involved. And that follow-up will be due July 6th. I am aware, as is Tammy, that July 4th is a holiday. Go ahead, relax, take it off, enjoy. The follow-up isn't due until the 6th, and you won't have anything due on the 4th as well. Race and ethnicity is a super unit that Tammy teaches, where we're looking at the problems of inequality, where they're talking about race, ethnicity, age, gender. There's a lot of racial bias and ethnic differences that are discussed. It's a super unit, very interesting, and brings up a lot of very interesting discussion. And that unit or modules will go from July the 6th through the 19th, with a follow-up due on the 20th. And finally, a very quick unit to close our course this summer, and that is on crime and violence. And Tammy will also be instructing that. And that follow-up is due on the 24th, which ends our summer session. Make sure that comes in on time, because we will have to get grades in very closely after that. And the reason we mention who's instructing which modules is when you are in the course, make sure that you are contacting the instructor that is actually working with those modules. So you wouldn't want to contact me for a question about the poverty unit. Go directly to Tammy. In the syllabus, which I hope you read by now, we're going to be exploring, as I said, the sociological and psychological forces that impact youth. We're looking at really what are the disruptors in their lives that have a profound effect on what goes on in the classroom and how they react to things. We're going to be looking at the analysis, prevention, and intervention strategies to help our students through any type of disruptor that occurs in their life, and certainly you have witnessed many over the past couple months with the online learning. So the course is essentially divided into 4 phases. First is the introductory. Second is we're looking at the models for social interventions. In the third phase, we're going to look at external disruptors. These are race and ethnicity, crime, and also poverty. And finally, we're going to take a look at social institutions of the families and school that are designed to support youth and how they can do that job better. There are no required texts for this particular course. Everything you need for the course is built into Canvas already. Our expectation is that you will be using those materials. You'll need to integrate those materials, particularly external readings that are built into Canvas for your follow-ups, particularly for poverty and for race and ethnicity. We encourage you not to use other articles unless you specifically have permission, and give Tammy the opportunity to share those articles with other students if you feel that they are worthwhile. Remember, the follow-ups are our main assessment tool. They account for 80% of your grade. Make sure when you submit any follow-ups that they are submitted in size 12 format. I prefer Calibri. It doesn't matter really, but make sure it's double-spaced for clarity, ease of reading. In both the poverty and race follow-up, you will have to use citations, and so you'll be formatting using the APA style. And always when you submit a follow-up, include the rubric so that we can adequately grade, and if there's any kind of difference, you'll be able to see clearly where the problems occurred. That also helps us when we take a look at the outcomes of this particular course, and you'll find that they do overlap with other courses, but we're looking to be able to identify that you have been able to either excel or meet these particular outcomes that are part of the Graduate Programs in Education program. Due dates are not suggestions, all right? They are not flexible. If there is a problem, maybe we have a hurricane between now and July 24th, and we've had major outages, we can adjust that, but Tammy and I will make that decision. Those due dates are in stone at this point, but stone does crumble, and make sure that they come in by 11 o'clock. So the first follow-up is due June 22nd by 11 o'clock p.m. They can come in earlier. If they come in later, what you forfeit is the opportunity to make any revisions to supplement for a grade that may not be an A. Any grade below an 18 to 20 is an A. If you score below an 18 and would like to make revisions and improve your grade, you may do that as long as it comes in within 10 days of the original due date, and also that it is on the same document that we graded so we can see where the changes have occurred. You also need to change your font. Either use a colored font that is readable or make it bold or italicized so that we can clearly see where you have made changes as we move along. As I said, your follow-ups are 80% of your grade. Discussions and blogs make up 10%, and the final 10% are the assignments and the wikis. And of course, we follow the Goucher published grading scale. As I said, you'll be using Canvas throughout the course. Everything you need is located on Canvas, including as you get close to follow-ups. You're going to find that we have published a video to help you understand the little nuances of getting through those follow-ups, and we encourage you to listen to the tips and tutorials before writing that follow-up. You're going to find it's going to save you a lot of aggravation and help you get through the individual parts of the follow-up with ease. Remember to read all the material that is there. It's important in an online course that you are online with frequency. We've only got 8 weeks to get through this course. In the fall and in the spring, it's a 16-week course. So there's not a lot of time for vacations and things like that. If you're on vacation, your computer is with you. We expect you to be doing things. And so if that's going to be a problem, you're going to need to discuss that with Tammy and me, and collectively we can work something out. As I said, the external links are there for you. The PowerPoints are there for you. Videos are online for you. We've been very careful in selecting videos that support what we are using. If we couldn't find a video, we've made the video. But make sure that you are using all the tools that we give you, all the resources we give you. Don't try to approach an assignment or a follow-up without going through the actual lessons, so that you understand what in particular is that we are talking about in any particular content area. You know, everybody in this class should be successful. There's no reason everyone can't have an A. We don't give A pluses, but the majority of students do end with an A. And so how do you achieve the success? Use Canvas. Stay online. Always navigate from the home page. Pay attention to the due dates. Don't sacrifice the opportunity to redo something. Understand that follow-ups can be redone. Assignments, they can be late. It's going to cost you with reduced points. The only thing that really can't be done is on a discussion forum. When we give you a due date, the forum is closed. And why do we do that? Because nobody's going back to read it. And so therefore anything you would post after the due date is non-essential. So make sure you're paying attention to due dates. Make sure you're listening to the videos, the PowerPoint lessons. They're all going to help you understand the material, the content, so that when it comes time for that follow-up, you know exactly where we're going. In the third follow-up, there are frequently mistakes made in the second part of that follow-up because students have not followed the direction from the PowerPoint. Everything is in one PowerPoint that you need for the second part, and it's just a matter of you paying attention and following directions. Some people can get away with just reading the material, listening to the material. Others may want to print unit materials. It's all there for you. Use them. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. If you need help, if you need clarification, if there's a problem, please reach out to Tammy or to me and get that assistance as you need it. Finally, we're in a whole new era. 2020 has been quite a year, and we're only halfway through. We'd like to say we can have fun in the sun this summer, and my sincere hope is that you will have fun in the sun this summer at some point. But we're all experiencing a new normal, and using online materials is becoming more the norm for all of us. And so I wish you all a great summer class. I look forward to working with each of you, as does Tammy. And again, don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or concerns.